So even today, Sammy, like I saw it. I don't know why I'm still seeing this, but somebody was like, hey, and I'm going to sit here. How's my thing looking? How's my camera looking? We're good? Okay, look, I want to make sure everything's squared away. We were sitting there and I'm minding my own business scrolling, and somebody hypothetically goes, hey, if Luther Burden III and Colson Loveland hit, then we're trading DJ. And like, why are people still under this mindset that we want to trade away people for these mythical hauls or whatever it is? I don't understand it. Can we, for once, just be happy that it appears we have a pretty solid team with some extra pieces, especially when you give the fact that there's probably going to be some injuries and things of that nature. So I don't know why everybody is in such a hurry to be like, well, we got to get rid of it. Why? Why are we getting rid of anyone? How about this? How about let's win at least 6 games before we start deciding to either get rid of players or not? And it's getting a little bit ridiculous, and I'm tired of all of that. But still, we gotta be better. Be better. Let's just let the season unroll and enjoy it for what it is. And right now, Sammy, let's just go ahead and start the show.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Adam Rank.
It's Hester trying to work it back to the middle. Gets past the first wave, and here he goes. It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag, 92 yards.
The sickest Chicago Bears and fantasy football podcast. Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be sick.
It's Wednesday night. You know what that means? It is time for Take It to the Rank. A great Wednesday, a big Wednesday, if you will. I know we're starting to interfere with AEW. I know that the Tape Never Lies Network is going to be starting here in about an hour or so. I don't know. But listen, right now, we're going to sit here and talk some Chicago Bears. I know that everybody has left on vacation. Everybody is milling around. There's not a ton of news that is happening. However, over the weekend, we did see Caleb Williams appear at Fanatics Fan Fest out in New York City. A lot of cool things were happening out there. This not with the Chicago Bears, but a lot of things. Kevin Durant was traded while he was on stage. Like, that wasn't set up. John Cena was there. We had some of our buddy Seth Rollins was there interacting with CM Punk. Like, there was a lot of cool stuff, but we did get some insight from Caleb Williams, who did have an opportunity to sit down and answer questions. And it was funny to see him on the stage with Bryce Young. I've seen this too. You know, when you look back at the trade, and right now it's even in a vacuum of Caleb Williams versus Bryce Young, I think that I feel confident in saying that the Bears got the best of that. And now we're really going to see Caleb Williams unlocked, because last season, 3,500 yards, 20-plus touchdowns, didn't turn the ball over a ton, but now he's got Ben Johnson directing him. And as a matter of fact, Sammy, do we have the sound of Caleb Williams talking about Ben Johnson at Fanatics Fest?
It's been awesome. Ben Johnson, he uses some choice words every day towards me, but he's tough, and I love him. He's awesome. It's been great being around him. We hang out in his office, and we just, we have lunch sometimes and things like that. We just, building this bond and relationship to be able to, last a while. And I know Bears fans, it's year after year, typically, or every other year, where the Bears, coaches and quarterbacks specifically are in and out, and our goal is to be here for a while. So we've been building this bond and relationship, and it's been going well.
All right, and thanks to our friends at CHSN for capturing that video. That's where I know it was in the public domain, but we stole it from them. So if you're coming after us, please don't. We're giving you credit right now. We follow you on Twitter. You don't follow us, but we still appreciate you allowing us to just yoink that from you. I love what he's saying too. And I think one of the cool things is Caleb and Ben Johnson both acknowledge what has failed the Bears over the last number of years is that the revolving door at quarterback and coach, it never seems to align. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't want the Bears to keep Matt Eberflus last season, because They wanted Caleb to be aligned with the coach. And I understand that. And I sort of agreed. I was higher on Matt Eberflus than a lot of other people. And I understand that. I will wear that. That was my fault. I was not correct. You all were. Apologies. I'm sorry. But in all honesty, this is a 4-year commitment right now. Caleb Williams is going to get 4 additional seasons, 3 at the very least, but 4 additional seasons to go out there and prove that he is the quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Similarly, unless something absolutely disastrous happens, Ben Johnson is going to be given the same allotment of time to get it going. And I know if we're sitting here 3 years from now being like, I hope this is the year, it's not going to feel good. And people will be like, well, why don't we trade him? Well, and I get it. But for right now, we actually do have a convergence of a coach and a player. We have no fear. There should be no apprehension of, not having to worry about learning a new system, anything like that. Nothing like, hey, Luke Getsy was amazing, and now he leaves to be the offensive coordinator or something like that. The fact of the matter is Ben Johnson's going to be here as long as Caleb is, or as long as, they're tied together. We do have it coming together, and it's happening after the first season. It would have been fun. Probably would have been a lot better had it happened after the rookie season, but things happen the way they happened. We're here now. Let's not worry about that. We got our quarterback. We got our coach. We don't need to concern ourselves with other things like Tyreek Stevenson or anything of that nature. We have both guys lined up. And I think the one thing that I really love too is Caleb's talking about building a relationship. And you don't necessarily want them to be best friends because, the coach is the coach, the player is the player, but you still want them to have a good relationship and you want them on the same page. But what I would really like to do is clear up this misconception that happens from a lot of people that feel like Caleb Williams doesn't want to be coached or is like just uncoachable or doesn't care or doesn't have passion or anything like that. In quite honesty, the truth is 180% different. Degrees different, whatever. You understand what I'm saying. He wants to be coached. He wants to have guidance. He wants to have that strong hand guiding him. There is a reason why he left Maryland to go to Norman, Oklahoma to play for Lincoln Riley. He wanted to be coached by one of the best offensive minds in all of college football. That's where he went. And then when Lincoln Riley left to go to USC, well, Caleb Williams followed along. He wants to be coached. He wants to be great. And I know a lot of people will point to him crying in this. Oh, he cried in the stands with his mother. Yeah, because he cares. Because he gives an S. I would rather have a player who is inconsolable after a loss as to somebody who's just like, whatever. And they just wander and go out and they do their own things and it doesn't matter. Again, I know you were probably sick of me bringing this up from the, AYSO youth level, but it's true. Like when you have, it sucks as a coach when the kids are so inconsolable, but you secretly, you don't love it that they lost, but you're like, I'm glad that they care. And I want to do everything I can to help them because this means a lot to them. And when you see the players who are aloof, you're like, okay, that's fine. They're not professionals. They're young children. Like, I'm glad you're not bothered by this. But you still want to help those kids who want to be great and want to get better. You want them to have a healthy balance. I will tell you that I did lift the Ted Lasso Nobody Walks Alone speech to my team earlier this year when we lost a gut-wrenching tournament. But that's what you want. And I think that is the guy that Caleb Williams is. And he's out there building this relationship with his coach, Ben Johnson. And it's unfair. And people will be like, well, I saw him at this concert. I saw him. He's a human being. He is going to be out and about. I know I think there was some model he was out with. I don't know. I don't even care. I'm not following that. That doesn't concern me. I'm not getting into the gossip column with Caleb Williams. I don't care who he's dating, who he's being seen with, what restaurant he goes to. All I care about is that when it's his time to work and focus, you got to work and be focused. And it's funny too, because if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, you notice I do play some golf, but it doesn't mean that I don't work hard at the other 4 jobs that I have. 5 jobs? How many jobs do I have? And for those of you asking, yes, I'm still with the NFL Network. I'll be on. I was on earlier today. I was on with Jim Rome earlier today. I have this job. I still call games for Cal State Fullerton. So those are my 4 jobs. And the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank. 5 jobs. Was it 5? 4. 5? Am I counting? What am I counting? I can't keep track. Is Sammy correcting me? I don't know. Listen, Sammy, I can't look. I got a new setup here because obviously when I'm here, I'm obviously in the Coachella Valley. When you see the kitchen, you know that I'm in the Coachella Valley. Gonna play Indian Wells tomorrow. Excited about that. But let's continue to talk about Caleb Williams because there was something else that was interesting that came out during this thing. He was talking about, somebody asked him his playing experience. They were talking about, his rookie season and everything. He gave an answer that I thought was pretty good. Sammy, can we roll that audio real quick, please?
They suck, but it was after the game, after we won at Lambeau, 1-0 at Lambeau right now. So obviously you try and do the Lambeau Leap, and we actually tried to jump in the crowd where our fans were, and they start throwing everything at you, they push you off, and the Lambeau Leap, it's a real leap. It's not a little baby jump. You actually have to high jump basically, and then they're pushing you, mushing your face. That was probably that. And then I had one today. I was actually in a car and I got ran down for 6 blocks in the car. Yeah, that was fun.
Thanks to Ryan Garcia. We stole that from you this time. We wanted to spread the wealth as we're stealing this. Thanks, Ryan Garcia, for pulling that video and putting it on the web to allow us to go and take it. But Caleb Williams, I love this guy. Last year, and I wish Braggs would have been able to join us tonight because we talked about this last year when he started showing up in the bars and he was doing the Green Bay sucks chants and everything. And Greg was always of the mind that I wish he wouldn't do that because we have this history with the Packers that's not great. And I'm like, yes and no, I get that. However, as he pointed out in the sound there, he's undefeated against the Packers at Lambeau Field. And quite honestly, he should be 2-0 against the Packers. And I know it's one of those things that Jim Rome always busts me on, like, if ifs and nuts were candy. Yeah, I get it. I understand. We're not. He didn't win. We didn't win that game. The field goal was blocked, but it was nothing for him. It was nothing of him. Here's my thing, though. He's talking about the Packer fans. And after the game, like the Lambeau Leap, I've never been to Lambeau Field, but this isn't the first time that I've heard this, that it is a tremendous leap. So props to Leroy Butler and all those guys. I know James Jones did it. It's a legitimate leap. You got to jump up there. You see a lot of times the fans sit there and celebrate, and they're celebrating with their players. But the meanness of the Packers fans should not be understood. Yeah, everybody, they love to romanticize the fact that, the Packers are so nice and I parked in somebody's lawn and they gave me cheese curds and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, you know what? Everybody can be really nice when they're front runners and they're winning. I'll give you an example. Again, I'm sorry. AYO's. We should have a little graphic that flies up that says AYSO story alert. So people, if you need to fast forward to, but we were playing this team from Blythe. Oh my God. We've played some dirty teams this year. This team might have taken the cake, but they did this thing. They beat us. And then they're a good team. They're a good team. Like taking nothing away from them. It was a great match. Really hard fought. They beat us. I honestly got out coached in this one. It took me a second to nobody cares. Okay. After the game, they if Captain Winks wants to hear this story, I'll tell you at the driving range this week. By the way, Captain Scott, I might have a fourth on Monday. Be ready, but it'd be super early. In any event, this team, they beat us. And then afterwards, the team turned to our parents. They're like, thank you, parents, and ran off. And people might sit there and be like, oh, that's so sweet. I'm like, I purposely went out. They ended up going to the championship game and they lost. Funny enough, they didn't do that when they lost. They didn't, thank you, no, none of that stuff. Oh, it's easy to be magnanimous when things are winning. And sorry if I'm playing with the levels. Sorry, Sammy, if I've destroyed that. So it's one of those things like the Packer fans. Oh, Chris Collinsworth, friend of mine, not to name drop. Chris Collinsworth always told me two things. He's like, hey, you know what? Always have all the statistics that you need at the ready. And number two, never drop my name. Sorry. But like everybody always romanticizes the Green Bay. Oh, such a nice place, such a small town, blah, blah. Like, no, they're ultimately people who have been overserved, who spent a lot of money and are pissed off and hate the Bears, and they're flipping off our players. We're yelling at them, and I don't mind it. It's not sour grapes by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, if I'm sitting there, this would probably be like, if there is a opposing player trying to come into the stands in my home stadium, I might be it too. But I just think that it shows you that everybody has this sort of feeling of like, oh, such a nice, it's kind of like when Barney Stinson would be so great with the parents, but they're like, this guy's a scumbag. Oh, but the parents love him because he knows how to act polite and knows how to act nice. And that's exactly what the Packers are. Like the Packers are those people that you cannot trust. Like, oh, they're nice. Yeah, sure, you're nice. Oh, when the cameras are rolling and everything's going well and you're winning a game. Oh, great game, guys. Oh, yeah. No. There is an ugly side to them. And Caleb's talking about that. Like that. Not that it's different than any other fan base. They're not like stabby. There's nothing like that. But this whole notion that they're just these choir boys that don't say anything, don't do anything. Oh, they're so nice. They're so polite. No. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. They can be just as mean. And I think Caleb actually accentuates it. They suck. There is some pettiness to it. We'll see, too. And we have our friends who come on the show. Aaron Nagler, Tom Grassi, all of our friends. Yeah, you've had a nice run for 30-plus years. We've never had to see that bad side of you. You know, it's like a dad that you see a drop-off, that you only see him 3 minutes a day after school, picking up their child, excited. That dad's a lot different in the morning when they're late and they're trying to slow down enough to get their kid out of the car into the gate before Mr. Hammond locks it. Yeah, there's different styles. So I like that Caleb called them out. I really love it. And thanks to Ryan Garcia and CHSN for allowing us to steal a little bit of that audio. We appreciate it. It was in the public domain, but I'm giving you your credit. Please don't come after us. Please don't hold a petty grudge for months and then blow us up on Twitter one morning. We're giving you your love. Speaking of the Packers, though, I do want to bring this up. We're stealing this straight up from Pat McAfee. Do we have the McAfee sound of our friend Aaron Rodgers talking about this might be it?
Wait to see you up there at training camp.
Hey, come on out to Latrobe, man. It's beautiful out there. That's what I hear.
Yeah, maybe.
It is beautiful out there.
I was there as a kid.
Do a little live show at training camp with the Steelers, you know?
Yeah, let's go to Dino's, get some wings.
Down at Latrobe.
With Glazer and Tomlin. Aaron.
It is time we go home.
And Brett Michaels.
Yeah. Arthur Smith.
Artie.
Tell him to bring his brother.
Maybe we should go do a training camp. I don't know if we're allowed. We would have to get that would have to be approved by the Steelers.
Bert,
I think the Steelers would approve
Bert
that.
I just asked Bert. He approved.
Yeah, call Bert. Bert's in. Yeah, he's 100% in.
You talk about Lawton down there. All right, we will.
Can we stop at Kennywood?
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? That's the one thing that I did. They went to Kennywood. The team had a team out at Kennywood. I missed it. I feel real bad about that.
Oh man, that was the one they were talking about going up. I'm glad that's fine. We had enough Aaron Rodgers on this show, but he went on to that interview, and he was talking about the fact that this is likely his last season. Like, shut up! Like, just go away. Then, just do like you're fine. Okay, who cares? Nobody believes you. Nobody thinks this is it. We know that your name's going to be in there. I mean, like even Tom Brady has to go through and be like, well, now that he has a percentage of the Raiders, it's different. But he still has to go through the whole thing like, hey, maybe Tom Brady returns. And it's going to be a couple of years. Hell, I'm old enough to remember when Troy Aikman retired. And he wasn't the top broadcaster that he was. He would still have to go through it. Like there would be signs in the stand like, hey, like, so shut up, Aaron Rodgers. You're going to be asked about this until you're at least 45. Hey, do you still maybe there'll be like even if you retire next year. He went on to talk about like I signed a 1-year deal, did whatever. Okay, fine. Next season there will be an injury to a quarterback, and people will be like, "Hey, I wonder if Aaron Rodgers is available." Whatever, and he will still be in the spotlight, and he will still be asked by it. That was another thing too in that interview, is that he's like, "I'm tired of people meddling in my business." I'm like, "Okay, well then shut up." Here's the like you have like. A lot of times you see players on these shows, the team has told them, you're going to go and appear on Good Morning Football. You are going to appear on The Insiders. They're typically not given a choice. Now, if you're a superstar, you might be able to say, like, I'm not doing that. Aaron Rodgers certainly could. There is nobody from the Pittsburgh Steelers making him go on the Pat McAfee show. As a matter of fact, he gets paid to go on the Pat McAfee show. So don't sit here and pretend like I'm being forced to talk about. No, you are willfully doing this. And I know it would be like, oh, and now everybody wants to know about my marriage. Okay, here's an idea. Before you go out there, maybe take your wedding band off if you don't want to be asked about it. If I don't want to be asked about Chicago Bears stuff, I won't wear it. I won't wear Chicago Bears, anything that identifies me. I feel like there's a contract. If I'm walking around in Bears gear, Angels gear, if I've got an autographed Arsenal kit on me, I just have to assume I'm going to be asked about it. And then maybe Aaron's like, well, I don't want to take off my wedding ring. This is for life, which is fine. Some people feel that way. That's cool. Put a glove on. And if anybody asks you about it, just say like, I'm an old man. People will chuckle. Nobody cares. Oh, too much golf. Nobody cares. Everybody moves on. You are putting yourself in these situations. You're putting yourself in these situations to where you have to talk about if you want to go away, go away. This isn't Midway Airport. You do not have to announce your departure. You can just go away. Okay? If you're tired of people being in your life, just go away. You did it to your family. Do it to us. We're fine. We will not miss you. We will not miss you. You can go away with your little smug grin. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. All right. One other thing. Speaking of the Packers, this is a lot of Packer talk. I know. People are getting angry in the chat. Don Burr, why aren't we talking more Lions? Stop it. Is Orange Cassidy upset? I'm sorry, buddy. You should be wrestling right now. What are you doing here? Sammy, can we show this list from Pro Football Focus? I really hate to do this. All right. Forgive me. I'm going to put on my glasses so I can see this. Top returning coaches in the NFL. So please don't be upset. Don't be upset if Ben Johnson's not on this list. Hopefully he will be next year. You got Andy Reid. Duh. Sean Payton, of course. Sean McVay. Okay, I think of those three, yeah, you can go through this. I think any combination of those three is pretty good. I love Sean Payton. I'm over in Denver. I'm not going to put Sean McVay. Okay, John Harbaugh. People will, they might argue with that. They folded the playoffs. Speaking of folding in the playoffs, there's Mike Tomlin, followed by Jim Harbaugh, Kyle Shanahan. Okay, let me tell you something about Kyle Shanahan here. Kyle Shanahan, 7th? That's Kyle Shanahan below John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, Jim Harbaugh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Of those guys, although Harbaugh does have a Super Bowl, Mike Tomlin does have a Super Bowl, Jim Harbaugh got to a Super Bowl. Still. This is a modern list. I would have Kyle Shanahan, who's had more success recently than all those guys. I would have Kyle Shanahan at number 4. I would have Nick. Actually, no, I'd have him at number 5 because I'd have Nick Sirianni at number 4. Did we not see the Super Bowl? Did we not see the Super Bowl? Nick Sirianni is not ahead of these other guys. Did we not see the Super Bowl? Kevin Stefanski's on this list. Hell, why not? Is there only 10 returning coaches? I love Kevin Stefanski. But I think Zach Taylor has had more success than Kevin Stefanski. Number 9 is Dan Campbell. Okay, we got to stop this right now. We have to stop Kevin Stefanski. It's fine. And Dan Campbell is up there. And I know Ben Johnson's not going to be on this list. Dan Campbell. We will get an opportunity to see how good Dan Campbell truly is. Dan Campbell is on this list, and he's number 9. And he's number 9 on this list. And I like Dan Campbell. I like the culture that he's created out there in Detroit. It's been very impressive. I think we all made our jokes when Dan Campbell was hired. We did not think it was going to win. We did not think it was going to work. But Dan Campbell has kind of gone out there, kind of proven some of the doubters, including myself, wrong. Dan Campbell has done a nice job. Dan Campbell's team also lost last year as the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. Bottled it. Just absolutely bottled it to the Commanders. To a rookie quarterback. And he's number 9 on this list. Where would Dan Quinn? Why is Dan Quinn not on this list? Dan Quinn has won an NFC championship. Dan Quinn and the Commanders made Dan Campbell look foolish in the divisional round of the playoffs. Dan Quinn won a playoff game last year. Won 2 of them. And he's not on this list. He's not ahead of Dan Campbell or Stefanski. I like Stefanski. I really do. If you're giving Stefanski all this love, why would you not be giving Zach Taylor a little bit more love? Zach Taylor has been to a Super Bowl. They were the team that nobody wanted to face in the AFC last year. Is it all Joe Burrow? And if you're like, well, it's because of Joe Burrow, I'm like, okay, well then couldn't we say that Dan Campbell's success is because of Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson? Actually, we don't know. We don't know. And I guess I should point out Dan Quinn should be on this list. I'm just saying the 9 and 10 are really offending me. But oh my God. Why do I have to be the person who said, I don't want to be? Don't make me say this. Sammy, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to have to. We're not going to put Matt LaFleur on this list over Dan Campbell and Kevin's. Are we really not doing that? Are we really? I don't want to. Okay, listen, stop it. I see the comments already. Why are you pumping up? We're not pumping. I just spent 30 minutes talking about how much the Packers suck, how mean their fans are. But in order to maintain a little bit of credibility, can we at least acknowledge the fact that Matt LaFleur is an okay coach? He's more accomplished than Dan Campbell. He's more accomplished than Kevin Stefanski. And listen, we can sit here and we can be like, hey, he's got the benefit of a great organization behind him, which is fair. That's absolutely fair. The fact of the matter remains, he did it with Aaron Rodgers. He inherited a team that had Aaron Rodgers and made them very good. They lost in a bunch of NFC championship games. I'm not saying he doesn't bottle it. He's one of the best bottlers in the NFL. Nobody folds like LaFleur's Packers. However, he did go into a situation where he inherited Aaron Rodgers, made Aaron Rodgers better, and then he goes out and they get rid of Aaron Rodgers and they bring in a quarterback from Utah Valley State. I know it's Utah State. I'm joking. I hate Logan, Utah. I really do. Of all the former Big West teams, I do not like Utah State, although I always use them in NCAA 14. For whatever reason, I don't know, because I'm a goofball. Here's my thing. Matt LaFleur is a decent coach. I hate to say it, Sammy. Somebody has to say it. He is a decent coach, and I got to let that be known right now. Don't give the Packers, God, and now the Packers have this thing. They're going to talk about this all summer. They're going to be, I wasn't even in the top 10 coaching list. Like PFF, like I feel like this is a ruse that somebody set this up specifically. Oh, for Christ's sake, come on in and get a drink. There's people out here that are trying to grab beers because there's a fridge behind. I think I have all the beers in the fridge behind me. There's people in the pool right now. That's not getting late. I know we just had the solstice, but the sun's still out for a long time. But we're hiding out here in the desert. Matt LaFleur's a good coach. PFF stopped giving him motivation. Okay. And finally, this evening, the Bears announced their training camp schedule. And if you're going to make it out to Hallis Hall this weekend, and of course, this comes from our friends at CHGO, typed this up. Again, of things that we're stealing from people, we took this from our friends at CHGO. You have the practice schedule right there. And as you can see it, now there's a little bit of a different quick word of warning. It's going to be an hour earlier than it was last season. So make your plans accordingly. I remember I made the mistake last year of when I went in there. If I go this year, I'm going to fly into O'Hare, rent a car, and have an Airbnb right there. I'm going to actually find a place as close to Joe's Pizza as possible in Wheeling and go there. Wheeling is my spot when I'm out there. If I'm going to go to Hallis Hall, there was no reason for me to be in the city. Trying to remember why I do that because you can fly into Midway. I guess O'Hare has public transit. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out what I'm doing. But there's the training camp schedule. We'll hopefully be able to get out there for a couple of days. It is nice. I think those first couple of days, July 29th, 30th, 31st, there would be an opportunity for me to have a lot of access if I did that. Because last year I just didn't look at the schedule and I'm like, I'll go. And I'm like, they had a day off. And I'm like, what am I doing? We'll try to get out there. Of course, trying to arrange this with my schedule with the Jim Rome show. I mean, I'll be able to go out there and do the show from the hotel or the Airbnb of which I'm staying at. If anybody wants to split an Airbnb with me, hey, reach out. Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time. But there's the Bears practice schedule. Some cool stuff going on. So there it is. You can take that down. So everybody, just so you're aware, hopefully we'll be out there. Maybe I'll get Braggs to stay with. That's what we should do. Is we should have a house, and Braggs' family can come out. So I'm doing this. I'm spitballing this on the air. But yeah, thanks to everybody, and thanks to everybody who's joining us. I know these are the summer months. They're a little bit. That's dead. But here's some cool things. A couple of things I do want to announce. We are expecting to have a special edition of the Sick Podcast with Adam Rake this weekend. We are trying to. I know you shouldn't jinx this, and he's a busy guy. He's a busy man. But our friend, Beverage Dave Rossborough, the CEO of Circa Las Vegas, he's expected to join us this weekend because I want to talk about the great Scott Fishbowl event that happened this past weekend. Some of the cool things you could do for your fantasy football drafts. If you're looking for something to do for a fantasy football draft, we will talk about that. And we're going to be talking about a number of their contests that we have, that they have coming up that you'll have a lot of interest in. And over the next couple of weeks, we'll start rolling out some more content related to fantasy football. I want to start talking a little bit more into fantasy football, trying to line up some guests who can come here and chop it up, not only about the Chicago Bears fantasy outlook, but also getting you set and sorted for your coming drafts this season. But if you don't mind me, I'm going to step out. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks to Sammy Nanello for putting this all together. But most importantly, thank you all for being here. We will see you hopefully this weekend. If not, we will be back next week with some more great shows. Until that time, bear down. And Sammy, go ahead and play us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.